Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night, hosted by me, Pop. Well, I hope everyone's doing well today. You know, the temperature's rising up and things are melting. I can seriously see the pavement now, which is I'm just tickled. That's just great. I hope the weather keeps it up. Tired of this deep freeze. Anyways, on this stream, we look at things from an industrial point of view. You might even learn something about the skilled trades if you're not careful. And, we'll go and check around the news and everything around the industrial side just to see what's going on out there. You can usually tell how the economy's going by checking what's going on, whether plants are being built or whether they're being shut down or all that sort of good thing. Who's going on strike? Who's buying who? But before I get to that news, I just want to say hello to you, David Glenn. Good to see you back, David. Hope you had a good time off, good rest. And DJ Ronnie G, DJ, heading home, I bet, eh? Or did you take the day off again? And Fabric Folds. Hey, Fabric, how you doing? How's my favorite large breed veterinarian? Hope things are going well for you. That pipe fan service in the intro is amazing. I'm glad you like it. Yep, made it myself. Okay, so let's get into it then. We'll go to Plant Magazine. There we go. Let's see what they got to say here. The federal government is going to invest over $8 million in quantum sector in Quebec. I don't know what they mean by the quantum sector, so let's have a look. Whenever it says the federal government is investing, it's taking taxpayers' money. No snow on the roofs here in Minnesota since it's so warm. Hey, great. It's actually 37 above freezing right now. You're scared? I'm scared. Well, we'll see. Maybe winter can't last forever, right? We gotta have some, at least come up to the norms that we usually have, which is, single digits for us in Canada, which is fine by me, as long as it's above zero. Hey, what's up, Godzillionaire? It's everyone's favorite kaiju. He's arrived. The quantum sector, hopefully the next leap will be the leap home. Just finished that up. Me and the missus just finished watching Quantum Leap. And not a very satisfying ending. I think the show got canceled too soon. It would have been nice to see a happy ending where he makes it home, but at least he helped Al out in the end there. For those of you that haven't seen the finale. Anyways, let's get to this here. This government investing. Hey, Lester, San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Thank you for stopping by. First time seeing you around here. You appreciate my trade talks? Keep up the good fight. Hey, I try, man. Really appreciate you coming in. I'm going to keep it up. If it gets this warm this early, we're about to catch some 40 belows in April. No! Stop that. Better not be. April is meant to, April showers, right? Georgia. And DJ's singing away there. The government of Canada has announced a total of $8.1 million in investments for District Quantum Innovation Zone, Sherbrooke, the Quebec Digital and Quantum Innovation Platform, the Accelerateur de Création d'Entreprises Technologiques, and Nord Quantique. Let's not do that again. These Canada Economic Development financial contributions aim to support SMEs and NPOs in adopting, developing, and commercializing quantum technologies and products based on these technologies. You did work, eh, DJ? Okay. I just wonder. Beth, I'm a friend of AIs. Ha! Oh, George's song scene from where Sam helps Al. Okay. I didn't catch that right away. The financial assistance provided to these organizations is as follows. District is receiving a non-repayable contribution of $5.2 million to acquire new equipment for DevTech, a shared laboratory situated in Espace Quantique 1, making equipment available to businesses to develop quantum technologies. Officially designated in February 2022, District Quantum Innovation Zone, the main driver of Quebec's quantum ecosystem, is a center funded by, among others, the Government of Quebec, combining research, incubation, financing, and industrial development to attract international talent and businesses while also accelerating quantum activities and making Sherbrooke a sustainable, attractive innovation hub. Okay, sounds like they're just getting free money to me. Rear Admiral Al Calavici. That's who he was, all right. It's crazy half of Canada speaks French, and even crazier, the other half lets them. Tried the new Quantum Leap? I did not try it, Fabric. I was just like, nope, no thanks. Both Al and God from Quantum Leap, the bartender, went on to become Cylons. Ah, okay. Look at DJ busting out the deep lore here for those guys. Canada needs Doge. Please, yes, 100% we do. It's amazing if we could have something like that. For its part, Pink 2 is receiving a non-repayable contribution of $250,000 for 1 year, and District a non-repayable contribution of $500,000 for 2 years to support the Quebec Quantique Initiative, founded in 2021. Quebec Quantique is a group of quantum sector stakeholders with a mission to mobilize the quantum technology industrial cluster in Quebec to support its growth and raise its profile on the world stage. So they're just paying them to be cheerleaders? To hype up quantum technology? That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like a lot of spending unnecessary money. The Asset is receiving a non-repayable. All of these are non-repayable. It's just free money. Don't worry. Here's some money for you, and vote for me again. That's what it sounds like to me. Non-repayable contribution of $435,000 to strengthen its ability to support the creation and launch of businesses that develop, enable, or adopt quantum technologies. So it's getting money to be able to support the creation of businesses that develop quantum technologies. It sounds fishy to me. Founded in 2011, the ASET is an NPO affiliated with the Université de Sherbrooke. This designated business incubator in the Quantum Innovation Zone, Sherbrooke, has a mission to generate, facilitate, and accelerate the creation and launch of technology businesses. CED's assistance will focus, among other things, on the professional fees of external coaches, the incubator's promotional activities, fees to access technology development platforms for entrepreneurs, and employee salaries and benefits. Hey, what's up? It's Brandon. Hey, Brandon, how you doing, man? Good to see you. It almost screams need more synergy because I don't know why you'd look into that. Is there? Yeah, that's right, Lester. I'm glad we have engineers in chat tonight because you had this idea. What if you built a hydrogen battery, but you enclose the hydrogen in cold plasma? Maybe build a silver wire cage to handle the voltage. Wow. Fabric thinking the deep thoughts here for all you engineers out there. You have a nonsensical idea. Can you have the 8 million? Probably do you better, David, than what they're using it on these guys. Is there a real problem, socially speaking? Don't know, Lester. For its part, Nord Quantique is receiving a repayable contribution of $1.8 million. Oh, this one's repayable. Okay. To establish an assembly laboratory to manufacture quantum computers. Founded in 2020 out of the Institut Quantique de l'Université de Sherbrooke, Nord Quantique is a young SME specializing in the correction of quantum errors. The business has a mission to develop and manufacture the first reliable, efficient quantum computer that will be useful in several fields of applications. Notice they don't mention which ones. They just say it's going to be useful in several fields of application. CED's assistance makes it possible to acquire dilution refrigerators and quantum control electronics and supports other related costs. Deep thought. What is the answer to the ultimate question? Out comes the answers here, Brandon. 47. 42 says Godzillionaire. That is all. 47, 42. Hike, hike. Yep, that's the old football play. Go long. I'm the SME in errors. It's a tough job. With the university, its technology business accelerators, and its young talent, Sherbrooke's quantum technology ecosystem is the envy of the entire world. Of course it's the envy of the entire world. It's getting free government money. And Sherbrooke is a major hub of expertise in the area. All my congratulations to District Pink, to the ACET and Nord Quantique. Your work has the potential to develop new medications, among other things, and to find climate change solutions more quickly. Didn't even mention climate change solutions. All of a sudden she busts that out. Yeah, sounds like a big scam to me, everybody. It's just the government, the federal government, giving money to Quebec to placate them, and hopefully they'll vote Liberal again, I'm sure. That's what they want. You used to frequent the webpage for Cadex, a battery company in Canada, where you learn the most about lithium-ion batteries. Will quantum tech solve battery sustainability or lack thereof? I'm not sure. If it's all about working at a quantum level, then if they can figure out how to do that, to use that technology for batteries. Also there's if you've ever visited websites, you should try what's it called? Ballard Power Systems. They're the ones that developed the hydrogen fuel cell back in the 90s when I was going to trade school. That was the big talk, was the future of making energy was Ballard fuel cells. I don't know why it fell off a cliff. Maybe somebody thought it was too good and it was going to, beat down the oil and gas industry. So they might have tried to suppress that. But that's something to look into. Who wants to bet they got that money from USAID? 52-40 or fight. It's 54-40 or fight, David. Come on now. Get your slogans right. Massive scam. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. It is. Thanks for the link, David. Well done. There's the link there to Ballard fuel cells. What else we got here? Eco Guardian announces upcoming sustainable packaging manufacturing facility in Ontario. Trump says Canada and New Mexico tariffs are going forward with more import taxes to come. Okay, well, let's read up on that. I think people are going a little too squirrely with this whole tariff thing, especially on our side of the border. If you just did what the guy said, then you'd be fine. All he wanted to do was stop the immigrants coming in and the drugs. And if my government's not willing to do that, then they deserve to get tariffed. Every politician's sentence nowadays contains a noun, a verb, and the words climate change. Yep, you got her, Fabric. Got to throw that out there, right? It is totally possible he did. Yeah. Hydrogen fuel cells are a pipe dream, too volatile for regular peeps, not enough maintenance. Small leak, go boom. Yeah, if they can figure out how to take care of that problem, Godzillionaire, maybe they'll have a better chance of it. FAFO is high? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Your thought was that if you enclosed the hydrogen in cold plasma, it could solve the metal brittleness problem. Oh, okay. FAFO is going to 10. Hey, James, how you doing? Nice to see you. All right, let's get along here. President Trump said Monday that his tariffs on Canada and Mexico are starting next month, ending a month-long suspension on the planned import taxes that could potentially hurt economic growth and worsen inflation. Just so you guys know, my prime minister is kicking people while they're down. He's raising the carbon tax even higher now. So this guy needs to go away fast. This guy isn't even a human being. He's just a disgusting animal. And I think he should go away, because you don't kick people when we're hurting from the inflation. You don't go and raise your carbon tax even higher. You get rid of it completely, because it does nothing. So that's what's happening on our side of the border. We're on time with the tariffs, and it seems like that's moving along very rapidly, said U.S. President at the White House news conference with French President Emmanuel Macron. While Trump was answering a specific question about taxes to be charged on America's two largest trading partners, the U.S. President also stressed more broadly that his intended reciprocal tariffs were on schedule to begin as soon as April. The tariffs are going forward on time, on schedule, Trump said. Store hydrogen in solid catalyst and it's safe. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of a solid catalyst, but okay. You're also inclined to favor hydrogen airships, Hindenburg type. Be damned, Hindenburg hype, be damned. Yeah, I'm sure they could do it better than back in the day. Yes, James, my PM is evil. He is pure evil, and he's dumb. So that's a two, a 1-2 combo that you don't want. He's evil and he's stupid. Yeah, it's Trudeau, Lester, not the new guy. We won't know who the new guy is for a while. You read Trudeau resigned or something to that effect? He's just ineffectual. I don't think he's still there. He keeps coming out and showing his stupid face and yapping it up. So I don't know what if he's until they find a new leader. They have to have a leadership race to assign a new leader. Until they have somebody, he's still going to be poking his ugly face around. Only $2 for a 30-odd 6. Just saying. Come on now, James. Trudeau is the grim chick you pick up at 2 a.m. and now it's 10:30 and she won't leave. You got that right, Fabric. Trump has claimed that other countries charge unfair import taxes that have come at the expense of domestic manufacturing and jobs. His near-constant threats of tariffs have already raised concerns among businesses and consumers about an economic slowdown and accelerating inflation. But Trump claims that the import taxes would ultimately generate revenues to reduce the federal budget deficit and new jobs for workers. Our country will be extremely liquid and rich again, Trump said. Yeah, Brandon, he basically resigned from leadership and shut down Parliament for 90 days. Yep, that's the coward's way out. That's a ineffectual and useless leader does that. The parliament system in Canada is bad, but not as messed up as Europe's versions. Yeah, I'm sure they are much worse. At least we can always hope so. I don't want it to be the worst. I don't want ours to be the worst. Individual price. I'm sure a box. Oh, you're going by each, not by the box. In an interview on the Fox News show Special Report late Monday, Macron said he hoped he had convinced Trump to avoid possible trade war, noting the difficulty of taking on a traditional ally such as Europe, while simultaneously using tariffs to challenge China's industrial might. We don't need a trade war, Macron said. We need more prosperity together. Yes, Fabric, he's still PM, technically, even if he has resigned as the leader, unless they use like the deputy prime minister or something like that to fill in while he's off doing whatever it is he does. Useless stuff, I think. Most economists say the cost of taxes could largely be borne by consumers, retailers, and manufacturers such as auto companies that source globally and rely on raw materials such as steel and aluminum that Trump is already separately tariffing at 25%. Still, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum appeared confident Monday that her administration would reach agreements with the U.S. government before the deadline set by Trump. Go ahead. Mexico, see what you can do. Brandon has a handsome new VTuber model. Tune in weekly or whenever Brandon streams. Find out by subscribing. Hey, there you go. Little plug for Brandon. New VTuber model. PM equals peanut monger. Nice, DJ. We would need to be reaching important agreements on this Friday, Sheinbaum told reporters Monday morning before Trump's remark. On all the issues, there is communication, and what we need is to complete this agreement. I believe we're in a place to do it. If necessary, she said she would seek to speak directly with Trump again in high-level discussions between both governments. Mexico has insisted that the U.S. also take a hard look at the drug distribution and consumption in its own country rather than pointing only at production in Mexico. I mean, yeah, but that just means that the DEA has to work harder. And do they really want to shut down the drugs? Do they really want to do that? You take away a lot of people's drugs, they're not going to be happy about it. And I'm sure the government likes it when people are all doped up. Look what happened here when Prime Minister Numbskull legalized marijuana. You know, people were like, yeah, great. All the stoners were anyway. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. And, you know, the government loves keeping people stupid. And drugs make you stupid. So, the tortoise was recently soaked on Saturday, so he should be well hydrated. He also topped off the water for the girls. Hey, there you go. Taking care of them turtles. Because, you know, DJ, he has his stream on, it's called The Monday Show on Thursday. And he will talk about turtles, technology, and astronomy. You can learn all sorts of stuff by watching his show. Right now, I see right now, Two Sulpinas is a micro dictator. Yeah, there you go. Micro is right. A Mexican lady is trying to change the Mexican Constitution to protect the cartel. She wants a visit from the old U-235. You think the pot thing is to increase apathy? Yeah, I could see that. It really does. Companies like Walmart have warned about uncertainty, while the University of Michigan's latest consumer sentiment index plunged by roughly 10% over the past month, in part due to fears about tariffs and inflation worsening. In the 2024 presidential election, voters backed Trump on the belief that he could cool inflation that had spiked to a 4-decade high in the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic during President Joe Biden's time in office. It's going to take time. It's not going to be instant. People that are like, oh, why hasn't it happened? It does nothing, and none of that stuff happens instantly. Things take time to work their way through the system. But Trump has persistently threatened tariffs and kept up those calls, even as Macron, standing beside him, had previously suggested that talks on trade had produced some common ground. We want to make a sincere commitment towards a fair competition where we have smooth trade and more investments, Macron said at the news conference, according to a translation of his French remarks. Macron said the idea is to help the U.S. and Europe both prosper, saying that further talks would be carried out by their respective teams to flesh out their ideas. Like, first thing to do, stop going to war all the time. Stop getting involved in them. Stop sending money to Ukraine. I still don't know why they're doing that. Let Ukraine fight Russia by themselves. Don't stop sending money there. It's just killing the U.S. economy. Same with us. Canada's sending money to Ukraine. Why? Stop it. Yeah, Fabric. It takes 6 months from ground to pump for oil. We'll get there. Exactly. We'll get there. Things take time. Despite talks the Trump administration has held with Canadian and Mexican officials, the U.S. president signaled Monday that he would end the 30-day suspension of tariffs that were initially set to take effect in February. Trump plans to tax imports from Mexico at 25%, as well as most goods from Canada, with energy products such as Canadian oil and electricity being tariffed at a lower 10%. Trump is placing tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods with the stated goal of pressuring them to do more to address illegal immigration and the smuggling of illicit drugs such as fentanyl. While relatively little fentanyl comes from Canada, the country announced a czar to address the issue and appease Trump. In addition to existing measures, Mexico has relocated 10,000 members of its National Guard to the border with the United States in addition to existing measures. So it takes threats of tariffs before there's any action taken. That's what gets me. It's like, hey, there's a drug problem. There's an immigration problem. Yeah, whatever. And he's like, fine, I'm going to start putting tariffs on you even higher. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we're going to do something about it. Like, man. You're waiting for the new Netflix series, Tariff Wars? Yeah, there you go. I'm charging you this much. Well, I'm charging you this much. Well, I'm charging you on this commodity. Well, I'm charging you on this commodity. Need some way to justify the taxes, you guess? Yeah, we can do with less of those around here. The Brits want to send ground troops. Someone should tell them that Daddy Yankee won't be sending help when they mess up. Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, you want to send troops? You go ahead. Because if anything, war is the thing that always puts the country deeper and deeper in debt. And it's exponentially. It's just crazy. Trump also plans to impose new tariffs to match the rates charged by other countries, set to begin as soon as April. The tariffs could be higher than what other countries would charge as subsidies, regulatory barriers, and the value-added tax, which is akin to a sales tax common in Europe, would be included in the calculations. The possibility of retaliatory tariffs planned by Canada, Mexico, and Europe could lead to a broader trade conflict that sabotage growth. In February, the Yale University Budget Lab estimated that the Canadian and Mexican tariffs could depress average U.S. incomes by $1,170 to $1,245 a year. Okay, so that's over 12 months. So that's almost like $120 a month. I mean, is it really that much? For some people it probably is, but just breaking it down that much, $60 every 2 weeks. Yeah. What I said before, you guys, is it's a lot of fear mongering, a lot of people pointing and clutching pearls and, oh no, this is going to happen. Well, just got to do what he asked you to do. Oh, Lion Electric shareholders file class action against struggling bus manufacturer. Remember we saw they were filing for bankruptcy protection and all that? Now they're getting a class action lawsuit against them. Okay, well, so much for that bus manufacturer. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. There you go, James. That's Kitsch Tune. Okay, well, that's it for Plant Magazine. Let's move along now. I found this article. Mattamy Homes commits $250,000 to NAIT and SAIT in support of skilled trades. So NAIT and SAIT are the trade schools in northern Alberta and southern Alberta. So this is well, let's see what these companies is here. Mattamy Homes, North America's largest privately owned home builder, is committed to investing in the future of skilled trades in Alberta. Part of this commitment, Mattamy Homes Alberta division is pleased to announce a $250,000 contribution to the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology and the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. Each education hub will receive $125,000 in support of student scholarships and awards, youth engagement initiatives, and experiential learning with a critical focus on growing the skilled trades. Well, I hope so. You're officially telling the government to gargle your Yes. Yeah, that'll work, James. If you sell cattle during the tariffs, you'll lose roughly $500 a cow. If it happens, you just work more. Yeah. Ooh, that sucks, Fabric, losing that much per cow. All of them. Line forms at the rear door. There you go. Our partnership with NAIT and SAIT is a crucial step in addressing the ongoing shortage of skilled tradesmen in Alberta and across Canada, says Colin Campbell, president of Mattamy's Alberta division. The skilled trades industry is vital to the growth and development of our communities, and it's important that we invest in the future of this industry. Through our partnership, we hope to reduce barriers to entry and inspire more young people to pursue a lucrative and fulfilling career in home building. It's not just home building. There's other trades to go into as well, and you have to start young. You have to introduce it to them when they're maybe in junior high, and make sure that you paint it in a good light. Probably not, but it's fun to say. Yeah. We all feel the same way, I'm sure, when it comes to government. Too little, too late. The time to bolster the trades was 10 years ago. I know, Fabric. I know. I was hoping that they would still help out, spreading the word. They really haven't. They've really dropped the ball. And not just government, companies, things like, schools. They were always pushing me to go into university. Like all my generation, when we were graduating, they're like, you should go to university. That's the best thing to do. You'll get a great job, get paid lots of money. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to university. There's nothing there I want to do. Nate will receive $75,000 to support student scholarships and awards with a focus on applicants from marginalized communities or those experiencing financial barriers. In addition, Mattamy will be contributing $40,000 for youth engagement initiatives, as well as $10,000 to support experiential learning to promote and empower people from all backgrounds to pursue careers in the construction industry. Can holding off a little while help with the cattle price? That's what James wants to know. Yeah, Godzilla, woohoo! Pending societal collapse. Please no, we don't need that. They'd best get more electricians, no juice, and everything stops. Yes, electricians are important. And there is a big difference between residential, commercial, and industrial electricians. I've seen some guys come from residential and try to get into industrial, and they struggle. They have a hard time. It's way different than what they would do in a residential house to run cable and such. It's a lot more troubleshooting as well, so sometimes they struggle. Mattamy's generous contribution to student success will ease financial burdens for many students, making a career in the skilled trades a possibility they may not have otherwise considered, said Matthew Lindberg, Dean, School of Construction and Building Sciences at NAIT. $75,000 will be dedicated to supporting scholarships and awards at SAIT, making a sizable impact on the lives of students from marginalized communities or those experiencing financial barriers with a desire to pursue a career in the trades. In addition, $10,000 of the committed funds will go towards enhancing existing dual credit youth initiatives at SAIT, providing high school students with an opportunity to explore post-secondary education and career pathways. $40,000 will also be used to establish a new multi-trade exploratory youth program at SAIT. This new program will have residential construction focus and will give participants the chance to gain hands-on experience and explore different trade options. Yeah, what do you mean three-phase? Yeah, exactly. What? It's a foot race. Which part of society fails first? I'm guessing banking, finance is domino one. I'd say you're right, James. That's probably what's going to happen right off the bat, would be those guys. If you have good hands-on technical experience and you're in the trades, you're still going to be able to work and do things, build things, whatever, repair things. You don't know, people don't go running to bankers to get things done, right? Nobody runs to their financial planner. Hey, you need to help me build this. And they're like, I can't, I don't know how. Oh, you got to cover the losses with your practice, eh, Fabric? That sucks. Let's hope it doesn't last too long. Hopefully they can get things sorted out. This collaboration is an excellent opportunity to help youth explore and discover their passions in the trades while giving them the tools and resources they need to shape their futures, says Roslyn Wick, Associate Director, Strategic Youth Initiatives at SAIT. Strong collaborative partnerships between post-secondary, secondary, and industry are critical in creating and delivering programs that can help youth find their passion and their pathway. We look forward to working with Mattamy Homes and the Calgary Board of Education to empower youth and to help them discover the exciting possibilities available through the trades and this new program. In addition, Mattamy will be collaborating with both educational hubs to organize site tours, giving students a first-hand look at the practical application of their skills at an active community under construction. As Canada's population continues to grow, the shortage of skilled tradesmen poses a significant challenge for affordable housing. Mattamy Homes recognizes that bridging this gap is essential. Through this multi-year commitment with NAIT and SAIT, Mattamy is taking steps towards finding a long-term sustainable solution. And that's fine, but just doing home construction, they have to be aware that there are other trades out there, like you guys were saying, electrician, welder, heavy-duty mechanic, millwright, all those other trades that are out there. Don't just because they are funding this, they want to get people to go into construction for homes. This is from the Pinnacle Gazette. Canada faces major labor shortages amid economic growth. With 8.1 million job opportunities by 2033, sectors like healthcare, construction, and technology brace for significant staffing gaps. Canada's labor market is facing significant challenges, with projections estimating 8.1 million job opportunities to be created nationwide between now and 2033. According to a recent report from the Employment and Social Development Canada, over 100 professions are at risk of encountering labor shortages during this period. The findings show increasing demand across key sectors, particularly healthcare, construction, and technology, presenting opportunities for workers, employers, and policymakers to address these gaps. If there is going to be gaps, then the people that are working in these fields already, like myself and other people in the trades, they are going to be able to go to other places, and very easily. They'll be like, oh, I don't like it where I am right now. Are you going to pay me more to stay here? No? Okay, well, I'm going over there where they're going to pay me more. It's going to be, for the people that are in it already, it's going to be good. Yeah, there's going to be a shortage of people, but it's going to happen. And as long as this is where companies better learn to smarten up and treat their people right. You know, pay them well, make sure they have a good work-life balance, you know, make sure they have good benefits, and then they won't want to leave. Make sure that you treat them well. And then people won't even come to their mind like that they want to leave their job. So I'm putting it all on you, companies. I'm calling you out that you need to treat your workers better, your tradesmen especially, if you want them to stay, or you're going to just fold up shop when nobody wants to come and work for you. You write off as a capital loss. Oh, okay, there you go, Fabric. That's a good out for you. Yep. I'll be able to afford that 1-to-1 scale Nami statue in a few years. I'm Godzillionaire, fingers crossed, man. I want to get that. I want to get that Nami statue. The report cited by Immigration News Canada draws from data from the Economic Policy Directorate at the Canadian Occupational Projection Systems. It discusses a potential job shortages stemming from population aging. Yes. I've talked about it at length about demographics before, you guys. You know I've talked about it lots, and that a freaking child could look at it and go, oh, this year, this group of people are all going to retire. But apparently nobody else looks at those things. The report anticipates 68% of job opportunities will be replacement jobs, particularly as aging workers retire from the labor force. An expected influx of 8.2 million job seekers is expected to enter the labor market by 2033, but Canada faces mismatches between supply and demand. I'll just hire a Korean cosplay Nami and follow him. Fabric makes an interesting point there. High demand remains prominent for sectors requiring post-secondary education or specialized skills, with the report highlighting industries such as healthcare, construction, and natural sciences as particularly vulnerable to labor shortages. Healthcare, the most pressing shortage. Healthcare is identified as the sector with the highest number of professions likely to experience labor shortages, with 38 jobs marked as critically important. These positions include registered nurses, nurse practitioners, and medical ultrasound technicians. The continued aging of the population and the increased healthcare needs will drive demand for these workers, exacerbated by existing pressures on the healthcare system. The ESDC's forecast suggests the shortage of healthcare professionals will continue to escalate over the next decade. Jobs such as nurse practitioners and medical ultrasound technicians are expected to see significant demand hikes, underscoring the need for skilled workers in medical diagnostics and care delivery. Don't worry, in the U.S. you can collect Social Security until you're 156 years old. Oh, were people doing that, Godzillionaire? Was there ones that that Doge found out they were still collecting? Heard they cut you off at 400. Construction and trade sectors are projected to face significant labor deficiencies as well. With 25 occupations deemed at risk, the jobs are deemed imperative to keep meeting Canada's housing and infrastructure needs. Skilled trades such as electricians, plumbers, and mechanics are highlighted for their expected high demand, particularly as urban and rural infrastructure projects continue. According to Immigration News Canada, the persistent growth of urban and rural infrastructure projects across the country, coupled with the need for specialized construction skills, will likely exacerbate these shortages. Essential roles like welder and carpenter will be pivotal in addressing workforce gaps within the construction sector. And that includes the U.S. as well, I would think. I know it's just Canada talking, but the same thing must be going on in the U.S. as well. Doge found out there are 20 million active Social Security numbers over the age of 100. Wow. I'd be like, wellness check. Are you this person? Oh, okay. They're not here anymore. They're dead. All right. Canada's push for innovation within technology and engineering will also generate high demand for skilled workers within the natural and applied sciences. With 12 occupations flagged as susceptible to shortages, positions such as cybersecurity specialists and civil engineers are expected to be very challenging to fill. According to reports, these roles are fundamental to enhancing Canada's technological capabilities and ensuring the country continues to compete on the global stage. Beyond healthcare and construction sectors such as education and social services are also anticipating labor deficits. The demand for teachers and social workers and caregivers is poised to grow, with 11 occupations identified needing skilled workers. Positions like secondary school teachers and early childhood educators will be necessary to meet the needs of Canada's population. Addressing these labor shortages will require concerted efforts from various stakeholders, including government initiatives to attract skilled immigrants, retraining programs for existing labor, and investment in education to meet future workforce demands. The grim forecast of vacancies puts pressure not just on the job seekers, but also signifies potential economic growth impediments if not adequately addressed. With the combination of aging workers retiring and economic expansion needing skilled newcomers, Canada's workforce challenges present both pressures and opportunities. It has become increasingly clear how indispensable it is to develop strategies to combat these looming labor shortages and their potential impacts on the Canadian economy. Paints a grim picture, doesn't it? Okay, well, I think that's enough now. I think we'll go for picture time. It's picture time. I know you guys like picture time. And this picture kind of works into the title I had for the stream. To bolt or nut to bolt? That is the question. Teachers are easy to come by. Electricians aren't. Yes, exactly, Fabric. What do teachers usually do? They just look in their book and read verbatim. You know, they're very hard to find a good teacher that's engaging with the students and getting their brains to work. They just spout off what they're reading out of their master book. And, hey, if your kids can remember, they're considered smart because it's just memory and recall for testing. It's not like it used to be where people used to get a classical education. Learning the trivium, which is grammar, rhetoric, and logic. But that's for another stream. That one. My streams have titles. Yes, they do. Anyways, let's find out here. It is picture time, David. It is. Let me display capture. Bad electricians are weeded out. Bad teachers aren't. Yeah, Godzillionaire, bad electricians weed themselves out. Psh, done. Bad teachers, exactly. Nobody, unless somebody sits in there and watches. So I grabbed the camera the other day and I'm like, I gotta take a picture of this. So there's the thermometer outside. I'm inside, looking through the window. And yeah, it's minus 25. And that's minus, what is that? 10, 11, 12, 11, 11 Fahrenheit. I think it is anyway. There's another shot of it. I got the Celsius in there this time. There's the line there. But here we go. Right on Monday morning. No, Darwin and Murphy weed out bad electricians. Yeah, they do. Monday morning. They're like, hey, Pop, there's a valve broken. The handle broke off. I'm like, oh, okay. The handle broke off. No, this was Monday. As you can see, I've got the date right here, February 24th. That was yesterday. So I'm like, okay, guys, what happened? They're like, oh, the bolt broke. What the? So there's the bolt that broke. And it goes in here, in this handle. This is an extended handle for a valve. Keeps it further away. You can still turn the valve, but it keeps you further away from it because it's a hot oil valve. So there's like 320 degree Fahrenheit oil running through that. It quote unquote broke off. Yeah. Yeah, it's somebody being rough with it. So I got a picture. I pulled out the old camera. I'm like, all right, the guys will want to see this. So there it is. It snapped off right where the thread ends. How? How did that break off? Don't mind that hammer I'm holding. Yeah. I wonder sometimes. Nobody comes forward and says it was them though, right? This is how things. This is the life of maintenance, right? You're working maintenance at a plant. It's like, oh, this thing broke. Nobody says boo. They don't say, the first thing about what happened. It broke. So I got some shots. There's that. There's another picture of the valve handle. And there's where it goes. We have lots of insulation wrapped around these things to keep them warm. Because the weather will, it'll take a lot of heat away from this thing. So right there, we'll zoom in on it. That's what broke off, this thing here. And it's not just broke off flush. You can see there's a chamfer here. It's broken off right in there. And I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. They snapped it off right inside there. Yeah, or the wrench in the pipe wrench in the corner. The thread's stuck in there. That's it. The thread. That's the threaded part, Godzillionaire. That's what's in there. So, hey, Aris, how you doing? Good to see you, man. You're just in time for picture time. Picture and story time. Looks like the water supply pipes in your basement. Yeah, this is for hot oil, though. Someone grabbed the easy out. Yes. So old Pop knows what he has to do. He has to go and get a prick punch and a center punch and a hammer. So the first thing you do, you take the prick punch, which is a very fine point punch. It's like usually 30 degrees angle. And you find the center of this and you take the hammer and you give it a smack the punch with it, and you make a mark. Then you take your center punch, which has a 90-degree angle on it, which opens it up a little more for the drill. Then you take that, you give that a smack, and you make that a little bit larger. Then you grab yourself a drill, and you make sure you grab the right size drill bit, because you have to drill for the size that the easy out is. And I started drilling at 5/32, but to me that seemed a little too big. So I went down and I started drilling at 1/8. I grabbed a 1/8 drill bit and I started drilling in there, and then I grabbed this, which is an easy out or a screw extractor. And once you drill far enough, you take your hammer and you tap the end of this to seat it in the hole that you drilled. Find the engineer with an itch from the installation. You got your culprit. Yeah, who is scratching over there? Yes, David, punches can be pricks sometimes. You take that, you hit it in there, then you take your wrench, and in my case it was a 1/2-inch wrench, and you can get it out. And look at that. It's a magic time when this happens, you guys. Makes you feel really good. You've known that you didn't screw up, and you were able to extract that broken piece of thread out of there. Like, look at that. Don't be silly, Fabric. Engineers don't turn valves. It gets their hands dirty. They always have new pairs of gloves on them, too, I've noticed. Engineers that walk around the plant, their gloves are always brand new. No dirt on them or anything. So yes, I managed to drill, put the easy out in there, or the screw extractor. It grabbed, and it managed to pull that out. So, whew, man, was I was just happy I was able to do that, because this valve is live. It has fluid running through it right now. It's in the open position, and fluid is running through this. So I don't want to make any mistakes. You thought the screw extractor was an abortion? Oh, man. Yeah. Fabric will be here all week, everyone. Tip your waitress. There it is now. It's out. It's finally out. So I had to go and get another screw. And this is what it looks like with it all back together now. So you put this guy over top. You take your bolt. You put it down in there. Tighten it up. You get yourself some washers to give yourself enough room so it grabs on. Because you don't want it to be, you don't want the bolt to bottom out before it gets tight. So you get a couple of washers to help out with that. That'll hold that thing tight to it. And from now on, you tell the operators to hold this part and turn the handle, because it obviously puts too much torque on it from here and it busts the bolt off. So I don't want to have to do that again. Drilling busted off bolts is not my idea of fun, and it's very tedious and time consuming, and it's just not something that I want to have to do. There's another shot of it there. That's a new valve. If you couldn't get the extractor to work, that probably would have meant another shutdown. Yep, you're 100% right, Fabric. There was no shutting this thing down. We have our shutdown coming up in May, but yeah, there's no shutting it down. I would have asked those guys, or I would have told them to start using an adjustable or a pair of vice grips to turn this thing on and off. It's like, well, you guys did it to yourselves. You're the guys that broke the bolt. But it didn't come to that. I was able to prevail. Knowledge and experience win out again. Hey, good old skilled trades for the win. I was able to get that out of there. And there's a little bull of more of a pulled back shot. So there's two. I even reached over on this one and tightened down the bolt on this one because I felt it. I just thought, you know what, I might as well check and see whether that one's loose as well. So I tightened that one up, and that will probably help out in the future as well. But yes, that's an overall view of what it looks like. And I'm glad I picked these up. These were, I think these were from Irwin, the guys that make the vice grips. That's a nice extractor set. Like much better. You've seen those other ones that are just, they have like little flutes on them. It doesn't look like they grab enough. This one grabs really well. I'm very happy with that. So I'm glad I got that. And it even says in the package which drill to use for what size. It's actually stamped right on here. 1/8 drill, it says. It's hard to see probably, but that's 1/8. And then it says drill. So if you want an endorsement from me, there it is. Use that style of screw extractor. Those little speed out sets never work for you. Yeah, you know the ones I'm talking about. Ray Godzilla, they're tapered. They've got four long edges, right? It's like a square. It's like these things. They sometimes work, but they break more often than they work. The old one you had the fluted extract. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, fabric. Those things, they break more than they help you out, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm very glad this worked out. And I'm glad I had spare bolts. If there's one thing I've learned while working where I'm at now is always have lots of spares, especially stuff like bolts, nuts, just things like that, rods that you can use for handles. Just have a bunch of those kicking around. It's better than having to scramble for looking for them or buying them and getting them rushed over. Better to just order them when you don't need them. And I know that's counterintuitive, right? Because you're like, well, you don't think of it. But that's not how my brain works. Some of the guys are talking about stuff that needs to be done and everything like that. I'm thinking about, well, what about this machine over here? What about that machine over there? Do we have enough parts for this thing? Trying to think of things that people don't have their eyes on right now. It's easy to find stuff or think you need stuff when you're talking about the thing, but it's when you're not working on something that you're thinking of, well, maybe it's my maintenance mindset, but it's like you're thinking of things that nobody else is because it's got to get done or you need parts for it. It's trying to be proactive and preventative. That's when you send this picture to the accountant. Why do you have so much inventory? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why do you have so much inventory? Ding! Right here, buddy. Check this out. This is why. Nobody ever calls me on why I have so much inventory anyway. I don't think I would ever get in trouble for having lots of inventory. Unless it was frivolous stuff. But it's like spare parts and stuff for all of our machines. It's just so that we don't have to fly stuff in. We don't have to scramble. We can't afford to be down when we're not supposed to be. That's the biggest thing. We have a contract signed to supply the people across the street. And if we fail and don't supply them, they will sue us. It's happened in the past. I've heard of, before I started there were stories about The one time they shut down the pipeline and the company got sued. So, you know, it's a real thing out there. You have a binding contract to supply somebody and you don't come through on it. The lawyers get involved and they're just rubbing their hands together. They like that stuff. So if I can make it so our downtime is as minimal as possible, then yeah, it's a good thing. Nobody's going to complain about it. So that's what happened to me yesterday. Today was a lot of inventory and shutdown meetings. So I didn't take any pictures today because, you know, who wants to watch me doing inventory? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we got 5 of those. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, we got 2 bearings. Oh, we got 2 plungers. We got this. Yeah. Not exciting, but necessary. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try to find something. See if I can find that set. I'll put the, oh no, I want this. There we go. Put that up on screen here. Yeah, so it wasn't that kind. It was this kind right here. You could have done an inventory video like the count from Sesame Street. 1 bearing. 2 bearing. Try to find the set that I got. It looks like, nope, that's not it. This one. This is it here. 10-piece hex head multi-spline screw extractor set. This thing. That's not a very good picture. You know what? Screw you, Google. I'm going for DuckDuckGo. They have way better images. There we go. You want to see the Iraqi Sesame Street USAID paid for? That's one infidel. 2 stonings. I could just see that. Let's see, the one I got here didn't have a lot of pieces in it. It looked like this. I mean, why wouldn't you open that up? Have that open. Yeah, hex head multi-spline screw extractors. Man, those are big sets. I only got like a 10 set. Oh, those are nice looking. Look at that. That's pretty much them right there. Not in black finish, but that's okay. But those are them. I mean, look at those things. That's great for grabbing on. You love window shopping for tools. Yeah, David. Yeah. I mean, they're good. These guys are good. I'll say it did well getting that out of there. And when I put the new one in, the new bolt, I made sure I put some Molykote on there, like some Never-Seez, just so that the next time it gets snapped off, because you know it will be easy to remove. I mean, they even have left-handed drill bits where you can go the other way and you can drill into these and it'll start turning it out, hopefully. I don't have any of those, but maybe that would be the next thing to get is left-handed drill bits. That's it right there. Still too damn small. What? No WD-40? Actually, I did not use any WD-40. No. The reason I didn't use WD-40 is because the valve is hot. It's got the hot oil going through it. So I had to use Molykote because it can resist the heat. Whereas I don't think WD-40 would be able to resist the heat very well. And I don't want to spray an aerosol on it anyway. We don't need no fires. Don't you mean wrong-handed drill bits? Yes, Godzillionaire, yeah. Just about everything you own is left-handed. Saves your poor knuckles. There you go. Remember, always pull a wrench. Don't push. Save you from scraping your knuckles. You like left-handed cigarettes? Hey, there it is. Somebody took a real close-up picture. 1/8 drill. Got a bit of a taper to it. It's got those flutes, or no, not flutes really, but they're more like auger almost. It's gonna grab. It's gonna just dig in and grab. Just like the green. So yeah, there you go. That is my recommendation. If you guys are looking for screw extractors, look for Irwin or any style that's like that. I mean, don't necessarily have to be Irwin, but if it's got that style to it, where it's stubby, because you don't want to put a lot of torque on a thin piece of tool steel. Your dad was always called a crescent wrench a knuckle buster. Didn't know why until you did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so that's why he calls it that, as you're holding your bloody knuckles. I rarely use an adjustable wrench. It's because I know what it can do. It can round off nuts and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want to deal. It's not good for heavy pulling. So I'll always try to use the right size wrench. Okay, yeah, they call them spiral flutes. You started using Mary Jane for pain management last year, but the wife got mad, so you had to switch to cannabis. Hopefully it works out for you, Fabric. We don't want you suffering in pain there, man. I believe that's all I had for pictures, but let me check here. Where is it now? There we are. Oops. Mary Jane in the Spidey sense. Yeah. Good old redhead. You guys will be glad to know we got some new rail cars. Everything's made of Chinesium now, so those nuts are easy to run. The jokes just write themselves. Yeah, exactly. New rail cars. Why, you may ask? Pop, why did you guys get new rail cars? Because shipping our flammable substance comes under new regulations that the car has to be a class 300 car, which has a thicker wall and a different style of valve in the dome and higher pressure relief valve. So new to us. You're going to try to pull new rail cars with a forklift again? Hey, I will. And it's not a forklift. It's the loader. We get a loader with a knuckle. And when need be, I will pull them into place. So yes, new rail cars. And they were all qualified this year, and they're due in 2035 in 10 years, and then the valves are due in 5 years. New regulations say you must pay more to make the weather gooder. Yeah, exactly. Well, they're worried about spills, so we went from a 100W car, as you can see here. This is a 300W car. So thicker wall and different style of valves. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. I took pictures because that's what I do. A lot of cataloging. So there's a layout of what everything does. So when you open the lid up on the dome, it shows you this. And it's like, okay, there's a sample line, the thermal well, liquid valve, gauging device, liquid valve, and a vapor valve, and a safety valve. So then you're like, wow, what does that all look like? That's what it looks like. There's the safety valve, right? Liquid, vapor. Ah, yes, 200 extra W's. Yeah. So now they have 90-degree ball valves on here. And that's fine because you just put in your spool piece in the end here and screw it into the valve, and then you're good to go. And if they ship it to us with nitrogen in it, 5% or 5 psi nitrogen, and make sure that the oxygen is down to a low level. So many fail points. You like the arrangement of levers? Yeah, well, you gotta be able to do that to fit them all in there. They're all on the right-hand side. They're all down, which means they're closed. They've got the bull plugs in them as well for sealing. Those are bull plugs. There's the safety valve. So cataloging the date that it was applied, or they've installed. I'm also trying to get some model information. So obviously you get the camera down in there and you get, the type, the PSI that it's set to, which is 247.5, the capacity of how many CFM it can spit out, and the pressure rating, all that good stuff, so that you can say, hey, I need a new one of these. Turn it, twist it, pull it, pop it. Good old bop it. And some of these aren't so good because they've got things worn off. So it's a little tough to see. But I didn't get the old flash on there, Godzilla. I know you're disappointed. There's a picture of the top view of the safety valve. None of glare on the nameplate photo. I knew it! I knew you were going to say something like that. And then they have some instructions for the magnetic level gauge. I don't know if we'll ever use it. We just go by weight. We just fill the car up until it reaches a certain weight, and that's it. You got to go. Okay, Aris, you take care, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you guys check out Aris when he streams on YouTube here. YouTube, Twitch, Kick. He's all over the place. He's everywhere you want to be. But yes, brand new rail cars. The old ones are going away. So once they're emptied, once the old rail cars are empty, they will go away and probably be sold to somebody else or sent back to whoever we rent them from, and they can do whatever they want with them. But they can't be used for our flammable liquids anymore. They'll use them for something else. I don't know what. Well, all right, everybody. I think I'm going to start wrapping her up here. That was great. Please do me a favor. Hit that like button if you can. Subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Tell all your friends. Let them know old Pop's here. You know, we do this every Tuesday night. It's the most industrial stream on a Tuesday night that I know of. And only I'm making that claim. The lifespan of those cars? 50 years, Fabric. From the time that they're built, they have a lifespan of 50 years. So we have some hydrogen sulfide cars that were built in 1981. So they don't have much longer to go. They've got a little bit longer, but the guys should be thinking about getting new ones. They'll use them all ranch dressing. Yeah, well, that's not flammable. They better clean them out and steam them real good. There's other good channels out there, people I personally watch and enjoy, like Pacific 414 and our own DJ Ronnie G. It's always fun to tune into DJ. There's Brandon, the anime guy. I tuned into Brandon lots of times, watch him play games and his anime shows. It's a fun time. There's Carl at the RNG Podcast. There's Tomby. He's the bloke from across the ocean in Britain. There's Angry Canadian, Nerdporal Airform, and everyone's favorite Penguin Punkwaddle. He's got some great Penguin positivity videos out there. You should all tune into Punkwaddle. Very, very good shows. And then there's Infinite Metal. You can find him on Kick and Twitch. He plays lots of retro games. He also has an undead dragon lord that mocks and ridicules him as he plays games. I mean, he's doing the voice for it, but it's so hilarious. Like, if you want to tune in and see somebody get roasted while they're playing a game and failing at it, that's what I'm there for. Coming up Saturday, Retro Game Day, I've got more Yu-Gi-Oh! To do. I beat the Expert Cup tournament, and now I have to go after the Rare Hunters and face off against Merrick. I don't know if I can do that all in one day. Probably not. But tune in. I'm going to play a children's card game and hopefully beat them down. Then on Sunday, it's Sunday Anime Chat. In case you guys didn't know, the theme for March, and it will be March by the time Sunday rolls around here, it's going to be Macross March. If you are interested in anything Macross, tune in. We will go from the beginning all the way up to what the last release was, which I believe was Macross Delta. But we will go over a lot of the Macross lore. And of course, as we always do, we're going to go through some episodes. So come on down for that. But Macross is one of my favorite series, and it's a great time. Thanks for those links there, DJ Ronnie G, dropping the links to Punkwaddle and Aris. When? On Sunday morning, DJ. Sunday morning at 9 a.m. First, I do the anime news of the week. We go through that. It usually takes about a half hour. And then after I'm done the news of the week, we go over the rankings of the shows. And then after that, I start dishing out with the theme shows of the month. And it's going to be all Macross, all March. So it's Macross March. Pay attention to that. Make sure you spread the word for that. That's a big one. Finally, after that, it'll be Trade Stock Tuesday again. So I'll have more pictures for you. Probably pictures of more broken stuff. You know, if I can count on the guys for one thing, it's breaking stuff. So hopefully not though. But we'll see how it goes. You would have totally taken Sunday off of work for that. Friend of Aris and you. Okay. All March, DJ. Yep. You'll message me? Sounds good. Sounds real good. Yeah, I'm liking that. That'll be good. Well, I had a fun time tonight, you guys. I hope you had fun too. This was great. I always like doing the old trades talks. You know what, DJ? We'll try to coordinate something. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning. Obviously, I don't want to interfere with your work. But we can always do Macross stuff in the evenings too. I don't have a problem with that. We'll just pick a day. So yes, have a great night, everyone. I thank you all. Thanks for all the moderating you guys did. All the David and DJ, you guys being the mods in the channel. I really appreciate that. You guys keep things under control. You take care of anything that's going wrong, going sideways, and you drop the links. So I really appreciate that. LCX is our VTuber friend who has quality sense of humor. Oh, I've tuned in a little bit to see L play some games and such. Yeah. You'd love to interfere with your work. It's bot interference. That's what you guys do. Oh, you love using your paid leave. Hey, paid leave is where it's at, isn't it? That's what we like here. If you're going to be off work, you might as well be paid for it. Anyways, that's it for me tonight, everyone. Thanks again. I'm glad you all showed up. And, yeah, I hope to see you all soon. Saturday. And then don't forget, Sunday, Macross. You want to know about it? Be there. And then DJ Ronnie G and I will collaborate for a Macross stream. Good show, yeah. Well, I try, I try. You got to work on your typing though, DJ. Okay, everybody. See you all soon. Until the next time, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.